This is most likely my first video posted on the posted about the episode or this not the episode, but the series From. And I'm not gonna say I think I know what's happening or I figured it out, but probably I think it's the case. And I would say if you analyze it from this point of view and you go and watch the seasons again, then a lot of stuff will make sense. So I'll play a clip that I think the directors or whoever the producers put in it that flew past or flew over a lot of people's heads. And I think this is a reason that explains everything, which I will get to as soon as the clip plays.
Go check on the boy from the crash.
No. This place, how you say, scary. Nice scary.
Nightmare?
When this no work, this nightmare. Nightmare.
Okay. Go check on the boy from the crash.
So if you listen to that, and if you know anything about From before Kenny's dad died, we knew or we figured that he had dementia. But if you listen to what he says there, he says, this place is scary. When your brain is not functioning as it should, everything is a nightmare. So, literally, From, or the whole concept of From is you have patients who are in a hospital or a psych ward or suffer from dementia, whatever form it is. So technically, what I believe is happening in From is there are people who are in the ward based on the traumas they experienced, whatever the trauma is. So the only thing, obviously, the whole puzzle hasn't been figured out because even though yes, it's most likely patients in a ward who have different who have suffered different kind of trauma, and now that's why they've had dementia or whatever it is. Like in his case, it's like old age. For some other people, it's trauma. So it's all different forms of dementia. The only thing now that we need to figure out is everybody's story and why they got to the or what triggered it for them. In a scenario, we could say it was old age, he got dementia. Jenny and his mom, uh, so it most likely could be something that led to their dad. Because there's also, if you go to season two, I think around the 33rd minute, if you listen to, because season two seems to be the episode out of all the episodes that revealed the most. So season one, oh, no, what am I saying? Season two, sorry, episode two of season one seems to be the episode that revealed the most. So episode one of season one was kind of like an introduction to get us to kind of like, okay, something is happening, introduce the characters, build up the story a little bit. So there's like, kind of start the whole puzzle, like what's going on here. And season two, or not season two, episode two was almost like, how they like to put little mystery eggs here and there, and then so season episode two, sorry, seems to be the episode where they literally, it's almost like they just put it in your face. And then onward from there, every other episode has just been to throw you off, to make you like think. Because the trick, especially with, if we want to say the whole dementia stuff, is as he said, when this is not working, everything is a nightmare. It's literally just saying anything is possible in your imagination. It's the reason why so many things could be happening from, and they don't make no sense. And we can't piece two and two together just because it's your brain. Your brain can, even when it's working, it can imagine whatever, and not to imagine when it's not even working properly, all the kind of things that can happen. But so it's literally most likely that scenario where it's a the people we're seeing it from all suffer all people who have suffered some kind of trauma and has led to dementia. But for me, what I think is we need to figure out who is real, and when I say real, and who is dead. So Kenny's dad, in what I believe, is I think he's dead. But to Kenny and his mom, he is real because they are experiencing whatever the trauma is, so they're reliving it, and to them, he is real. Because, like I said, if you go watch episode 2 of season 1, you will see a lot of hints to kind of like let you know, like, because there's another part when Ethan was in the van, when he had the stuff in his knee, and the medic lady was treating him. And he wakes up and says, "Oh, that was a dream. Your mom was there, and dad was here. Julie was here," and it's like, so the mystery now for me when I'm watching From now is the fact that, okay, so who is real and who is dead? So Boyd most likely is one of the patients there, and he's not just one of the patients there. He's almost like the ringleader in the joint, you know. Uh, so it's almost like he's the one that they would say stirs up trouble in the sense where, because remember, the doctors are trying to treat the patients, and you might have some patients who are there like, oh, don't listen to them, they're trying to tell us what we experience is not real, and this is why you're hearing the so-called monsters, oh, trying to break Boyd, because Boyd is the one kind of like almost stopping their progress, as opposed to like their progress with the patients. And that's why they're focusing on Boyd, because Boyd seems to, obviously, the simple solution you would think in your head, like, if you want to be logical, oh, just take him out of the whole scenario, and but at the end of the day, it's a movie, so yeah, they're just gonna let stuff play out. And at the same time, because obviously he says when this is not working, everything's a nightmare. So, they could imagine it most likely also explain why the characters look the way they are. You have a milkman, it could be somebody that the patients see who delivers the milk, because we don't necessarily know what year this is. And obviously you can see the so-called writings. Those could be from the first time the building, because it most likely could be like they had old buildings that are still existing today. So whatever the building was before it became whatever that word, this could be all the writings you see on the wall, and now to these people it's something else. Either way, lighthouse is something else. The boy in white could just be maybe a picture of a or of the doctor, one of the doctor's kids in the office or whatever, or maybe the son of the founder of the institute, and he could just be like his picture is in a specific place in the building, and then this is how maybe certain patients who have been taken to a particular place, they're the only ones who have seen him, and that's why you're like, oh, only certain people you can see. And then remember with the paintings of the monsters, the only person who has seen those are like Victor, Tabitha, who else? I think those are the only two people. And then the only people who have seen the boy in white is Sarah, Ethan, and Victor. So Victor most likely uh, is the oldest patient in the. And when I say patient, so he's the patient that has stayed in the whatever the longest. So when we're talking about the massacre, to Victor, it's a massacre. The real story will be revealed, and this is to me what the mystery of From now is. Because in my head, regardless of maybe what happens, my brain now has been wired to just see it as in, oh, okay, these are um, patients in a psych ward, and this is all like the experience, and a lot of things are in their head. So, from that point of view, is now okay. What's real and what is fiction or whatever, and then that's the part where, so in that scenario, we'll then know who are people who are actually alive and who are the people who are made up and we are seeing them, but they don't exist anymore. So that's where, and then it's the story of how each of them had the trauma that brought them into the ward. I think that's where the whole stuff is going. So you see Jade seeing the what did he see again? The war, not the war, the soldiers, whatever, from whatever year it was. So we will most likely get an explanation to why he's seen that with a guy on a rock. And then remember Kenny's mom saying something with him about when his grandmother passed. It's like you take them with you. It's all the whole stuff. So I think they're all crazy. So with Jade, it might be his friend dying, but we will all start to figure this out. Because even with a little trailer, I remember the first time when I saw the trailer and they showed Tabitha. I remember the first thing I was thinking in my head, I was like, why does she look like she's crazy? That was like I was just like, and then the person who always made me suspect like there's something, it was Sarah. Sarah like fits the bill of her story seems to be. I won't say out of all of them, Sarah and Boyd seem to be the ones where the story might be kind of like straightforward in the sense where I think Sarah murdered somebody. Really, like so. Out of all of them, I think Sarah might be the one with the worst case, if they want to use that word, like worst case, in the sense where I think with hers, she is responsible for somebody dying, even though, yes, maybe, she wasn't in the right mind or whatever, but she tried to play it off like it was somebody else or something. But I'm sure in her scenario, like a death has to do with either her or her so-called brother, because I think her brother is an imagination in her head. And when I say imagination, she might have actually killed her brother by accident, or her brother was but there's gonna be like a big twist with Sarah and the whole brother stuff, I'm sure, because she acts like she, and it's like according to her story or how it seems, I from the way she's acting right now and from, it's almost like, because the perception I got from her the first time I saw her and the whole stuff going on was that, oh, she killed somebody and her brother and her ran away, and that's how they landed it from, because they never told us the story, but that's what I got from the way she was acting. um Boyd, of course, they try to give us a little insight to his story. So, of course, in his own, however he's saying the story, it's like, oh, my wife was crazy and said, oh, we need to wake up, and she's shooting the people. In his story, he shot her before she shot his son. Maybe in reality, either something happened and the wife killed the son, or something happened and it's the other way around where he killed them or something, and he's trying to paint it that like, oh, because remember, he's a soldier, or he's in the army, so, and then even him making a reference of the first two people that died that he knew being the names of the two people that came in. It's so for me, I think the mystery for me is solved about what From is. From is just a mental institution, and now what we are trying to figure out is everybody's story and how it led to whatever it is. Even though it might feel like it's a spoiler, it's not really a spoiler for me, because at the end of the day, I now am left with the mystery of, oh, okay, so how did they all get here? Like the trigger, because remember, they're all saying, oh, they came from different parts of, and we somehow landed in this from, and obviously because all the other episodes after episode 2 of season 1, all the other episodes are just there to like throw you off. So people already like, just, and oh, it's a dimension, it's aliens, and it's literally like, it could just easily be that this mental institution or whatever, I don't know the new phrase they use now, or the place is located somewhere and it's for special cases, or special patients or whatever it is, and we can't say they're running experiments, but who knows as well, maybe that might be the whole, they're running experiments, and then we're trying to look for an explanation for the little kids that be saying and Kui or whatever it is. But I think everything will play out. The only question is we don't know how long they're gonna drag this for. But I'm hoping that maybe season, because I think with season three they might give us a little hint to, or a little more hint to, like, oh, they're crazy. Everybody from is kind of, because obviously, oh, Tabitha got out, but did she really get out, or is it like she's in a different state of, so like the theories that were out there before, like, oh, she's in another level. It could also mean she's in another different stage of therapy, and we can only assume with the boy pushing her, it's like, I had to do this. So is it that she's getting better, or the longer she's there, she's getting worse? So it's one or the other. She's getting better, worse, and then she's having to go somewhere else, or she's getting better and they're trying to, because eventually in the trailers they're showing us like as if she got out and actually went to the real world, and we see somebody who everybody is theorizing is Victor's dad, because obviously there are pictures on the wall. So it's most likely possible, because at the same time she wakes up in the hospital with a either way, I think for me, I think that's what I'm believing is going on in From, because there's a reason they showed us this scene, no matter how, even though it was short, and there's a reason they would have killed off Kenny's dad, because it's like his part is done, is and then now we're just gonna come up, and now season three, from even the little trailers I'm seeing as well, it's it's like they're trying the trailers, even though they're saying more things will be revealed, but at the same time it's like more things to also throw you off. So for me, I think yes, they're all patients in who are suffering some kind of psychological trauma, and it's now more a question of their stories and how it happened and what triggered it and how they're here, and then who's real and who's not. Same with Donna. Oh, I was on a hunting trip with my sister, and oh, and we're here. An accident happened in the hunting trip. Her sister didn't make it, and her brain has everybody doesn't want to see themselves as the monsters, and then you come to find out that they are the monsters and they just want to see other people, and that's why you have these so-called monsters who don't need to run, and who they just at the same time, in my head when I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, is it also possible that the so-called monsters are just staff that work in the hospital? Because a lot of them, yeah, they look, I mean, we have one who's a nurse, we have one who looks like a cowboy or whatever. These could all be people who just come there on a regular basis, maybe to do something, to drop off stuff, or have family and they're visiting, and because remember, the biggest advantage they have, other than the fact that, oh, even if it was fantasy, they could almost try and like go anywhere. But with the thing with fantasy nowadays is it kind of follows some kind of law. So if you're talking about fairies, then you might start, and if you're talking about Greek gods, and then you have a. But when it comes to anything psychological, like with trauma and mental health or whatever, it's limited, because you can imagine, your brain can imagine anything, so anything is possible, which is a big advantage they have. So in season three, you're seeing a guy drinking from a score, and then they're bringing, like, oh, there's spiders now, and it's even though I'm not too sure we're going to see any more of the spiders, because that is just all, because everything is just is literally everything now in From is like to throw you off, and then the season three most likely is just going to be dropping little more hints than they did in season two, but it's to throw you off. And then I think season four most likely might be finale, where, oh, it's all just in their head, and all these things are made up. The monsters are not really monsters. The monsters are things they created because they were trying to cope with whatever happened, or hide that they were not the monsters and they are the real monsters. Blah blah blah. But for me, I think that's my conclusion. Um, Unfortunately, I'm in England, and I think I won't be able to watch season three until maybe it's all been released in America, because I think maybe we get it. Well, when I say we get it, because the platform that we access, or I access from, they haven't given a hint uh, to say the release date, as opposed to in America, where the MGM Plus is coming out tomorrow, literally today, because it's almost 12 here. And so for me, I'm having to wait. I don't know when Now TV is gonna release season 3, but I just wanted to put this out there before it came out, just so that it was known that you know, yeah. And then whoever watches it, they might be able to put two and two when the other seasons come, but at least acknowledge that. Okay, but yeah, that's it. Hopefully, I get to upload more videos about other different series as well, the mystery series, because I like mystery series and stuff like that, because the real puzzles with most of them, it's harder to figure out the puzzles because it's like you're trying to figure out somebody else's brain, as opposed to if it was an actual pattern of stuff where you can observe in real life. Because at the end of the day, the writers can just decide to change stuff. So it's like, oh, okay, even if like, oh, so let's say, oh, everybody figured it out, and now it's like for them, they think they've ruined. They could just change stuff, and then just as opposed to if it was a real mystery where it's like, oh, this is what's happened, this is the evidence, and then. So at the end of the day, for me, yes, I still like watching mysteries, even though I prefer to watch series that have technically ended, and then that way I don't get dragged in and then disappointed in the sense where, oh, it got discontinued. So hopefully from ends, I'm guessing they're gonna push to for a season 4, because I don't think the answers are gonna be revealed in season 3. If they are and it ends season 3, that would be okay. I think, because yeah, we've waited quite a while for this season to come out, so who knows? But yeah, hopefully you enjoy the video. If you find it, drop a like if you like my theory, or and if you also have any like theories as well, just put it down there. Or if you disagree with what I've said, and then you could put your comments, and also how will I put it? Also put why, and then that way I could also like think about it and be like, oh, okay, you have this, but okay, that this and that. But like I said, the thing with this theory is the fact that because it's like he said, it's in your head. Everything's a nightmare. Like the possibilities are limitless. So I think it's a very strong theory. But if you think otherwise, then please just leave it in the comments. That'll be amazing, because I'd like to see people's feedbacks as well, because people we feed off each other. So if you put something there, it could make me also think about, oh, okay, that's true, So, and the same to where if you feel that, oh, it resonates with you, and then you also have more stuff to like back up what I'm saying, and you could put it in the channel. But feel free, everything is welcome here. So thank you, and hopefully I will be uploading more videos in the future. Thanks.